Tonight on the Beaver News, there's a campus-wide epidemic. Find out how you can prevent yourself from getting the norovirus. Also, get to know your newly elected ASOSU officials and catch our exclusive sit-down with Samantha Siegner from the women's basketball team. All that and more coming up. Hello and welcome to the Beaver News. I'm Cheyenne Lever.
And I'm Taylor Alvarez. We're glad you could join us this evening. It was recently announced that the city of Corvallis in Oregon State is planning on spending $2.45 million over the next 4 years to crack down on parties. The money will put 5 new officers on the streets to respond to noise, alcohol violations, fights, disturbances, and other calls. The goal of the investment, according to Corvallis Police, is to increase livability in near-campus neighborhoods. 2 of the 5 officers are scheduled to start on July 1st.
The norovirus outbreak has been a huge issue here on campus, and there are many steps to take in order to protect yourself. I was able to speak with health officials to find out what those steps are. The Benton County Environmental Health Department is teaming up with OSU to put an end to the norovirus outbreak on campus.
Norovirus is a type of illness that's easily transmitted from person-to-person contact, or it can be transmitted through food. The first cases started to report just a day or 2 after OSU started up their term. So since the outbreak began, we're somewhere up at around 90 to 100 cases. But I think it's important to also point out that the number of cases does seem to be declining.
Even though the number of cases has declined, it's still imperative to frequently wash your hands.
Well, what we mean by effective hand washing is a good, thorough physical scrubbing with plenty of soap and water for at least 20 seconds.
There are many ways that you can contract this virus.
Well, you know, bathroom surfaces, of course, are very risky. And then anytime people contaminate their hands with the virus, if they touch doorknobs or cabinet knobs or those type of things, desks, you know, countertops, then other people can come by and touch those areas and then, you know, pick up the virus.
There are ways to ease the symptoms of the norovirus if you have already contracted it. But remember to remain in isolation for up to 72 hours after your symptoms have stopped.
The most important thing if you do get the illness is to keep up on fluids, and so sipping little bits at a time is what we tell people when they're vomiting, so they'll you know, retain fluid. And you know, the biggest risk are people living in residence halls because they share bathrooms, or other living areas like Greek houses. It is important people know that the alcohol-based hand cleaners do not work against norovirus.
University Housing and Dining Services is taking extra precautions to prevent further spread of the virus.
Well, we're doing a couple of things. We immediately notified our custodial team to increase their frequency of touch point cleaning, so door handles, elevator buttons, door jambs, the kinds of things that everybody touches on a day-to-day basis to prevent the spread.
UHDS has also removed their grab-and-go items and self-service stations to decrease the chances of spreading the virus.
With the warmer spring weather coming up, many students have broke out the chalk on campus sidewalks again. However, some students may have taken it a bit too far over the weekend, or were they just expressing their freedom of speech? Here's Lucas Turner with more information.
Chalk markings can be found all around campus, usually advertising events and spreading positive messages. But on Monday morning, several hurtful, racist, and sexist messages were left in front of several student cultural centers and around campus, generating reactions from both students and administration.
Some were political, some were addressed at individuals from other countries, nationalities, people of ethnic status and religious status.
The university left it up to the cultural centers to remove messages left in their vicinity. But for the rest of the messages around campus, some students decided to take matters into their own hands.
Yeah, so like walking to class on Monday, I was walking in and the first thing I saw on the ground was Stop Islam. Someone had written it in chalk, and I was just immediately like, oh my goodness, this is the worst. And then I went to class and I tried not to think about it too much. But then I went to work and there was one in front of my work too that said, build the wall. And I'm from a second generation family, so it was really frustrating.
And then I met with Becky. We had a workshop in the evening and we were gonna walk back to her car and she said, hey, I have some chalk, you wanna chalk some stuff up? So we went and just kind of wrote over the top of all the ones that we could find. It seems to me that just because you have free speech doesn't mean that there shouldn't be repercussions if you're being really hateful towards the select group of people, which it seemed like that's what was happening.
Freedom of speech is especially relevant in this case, as some of these messages were written next to a name, Donald Trump.
Some of the comments on the chalk art were political in nature, and this university has no opinion on candidates, on ballot measures, on initiative petitions, but we do support free speech.
We only changed the racist, or there was one that was kind of sexist in front of the women's building, but we didn't change any of like the just Trump 2016 ones because that was just free speech, like in our minds.
This has been Lucas Turner with Beaver News.
Vice President Steve Clark would like to encourage any Oregon State students impacted by these chalk messages to contact CAPS or the Office of Student Life Diversity and Cultural Engagement.
The national primary may not be until November, but here on campus we had our very own elections. Just this last week, ASOSU elections took place. Candidates canvassed Corvallis with posters, went door to door, and one candidate used a campaign strategy that many have never seen before. Polly Lisacek sat down with the newly elected officials to see just what they have in store for Beaver Nation.
I'm really dedicated to serving those around me. It's really fulfilling, and this is just a fantastic opportunity to do that in all areas that affect student life.
Our newly elected ASOSU President, Vice President, and Speaker of the House sat down and told us a little bit about what they plan to do with their time in office next year.
I think one of the things we really want to focus on in this year in our office is really addressing some of the structural issues as we see them and as others might see them within ASOSU, so we can better serve this community.
Right now the House and Senate are very similar, and we never have enough representatives running because there are more seats in the House. So I want to divvy that up so each representative is running for a specific seat that serves a specific group on campus.
I think another thing that we would like to look at is sustainable, affordability.
The other thing I want to do, or one of the other things I want to do, is public financing for campaigns.
While they're not officially in office yet, they're still looking to get a head start.
You know, for a long time, ASOSU's been told internally and externally that we're not doing our job. And so we're looking at how we can create a system that can potentially better execute its function, which is to serve students.
Change is a good thing, and you kind of have to make some changes over time to adapt to how campus changes.
We don't officially take office until June 1, but we want to do a lot of preparation and a lot of work before then, so we're ready to hit the ground running.
We also saw a unique way of campaigning this year.
If it's Monday of week 1 and voting doesn't open until Wednesday of week 2, what is something that I can give to someone that they might still have on them by Wednesday of week 2 in general? It may have cost me a few votes, but I think it won me more votes than it costed me.
This has been Polly Lisacek with Beaver News.
Coming up after the break, CA Beaver News exclusive sit down with Samantha Siegner of the women's basketball team. We'll be right back.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys,
and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We tell the stories of the exceptional students and staff who attend the university, who work here, and who play here.
We have the Barometer where you can write stories for them, become a journalist. We have Beaver News. We have all kinds of different shows for TV.
We're so willing to talk to anybody that is interested in becoming involved with student media. So if you're on the fence thinking, I don't know if I can do this, the answer is yes, you can. Get over here and talk to us.
Welcome back to the Beaver News. In case you missed it, last week Marvin Lewis was able to sit down with Oregon State women's basketball player Samantha Siegner and talk about their magical run to the Final Four. Take a look.
Hello and welcome to a Beaver News exclusive sit down. I am joined here with Samantha Siegner from the Oregon State women's basketball team. Sam, how's it going?
It's going great. Enjoying the sunny weather. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So you guys just had a great Final Four run. And a lot of people expected great things from you guys this year, but I don't know if they expected you guys to make a run all the way to the Final Four. What really pushed you guys and drove you to make it this far this year?
I would say our loss to Gonzaga last year. Obviously, it was really hard to take. We should have beat them, just seeding-wise at least. And so I think that really motivated us throughout the offseason, and especially this summer, and was just kind of one of the driving forces behind our success this year.
Awesome. So you guys also won a lot of awards and set a lot of records, school records, national records, and stuff this year. How much did that help with it? Did that distract you guys, winning the regular season title of Pac-12 and then having pressure going into the tournament? Or was that just more of a motivation to get those kind of things?
Yeah, it was just more of a motivation and just kind of a reward for the hard work. A lot of our players, Ruth, Jamie, Sid, they all deserved, the awards that they got. And so to get that recognition means not only you're winning, but you're doing it the right way. And so very proud of the team and how they handled, those sort of things.
Yeah, it was a fun season to watch, definitely. Now you guys, it has been said that you guys are a very tight group and you guys are very close. Can you just kind of elaborate how tight really is this group, especially the seniors, because you guys are like the catalyst for this kind of turnaround that you guys went through these last 4 years. How much did that help with the success?
Yeah, well, I think this is such a long season, and so you have to be family, and especially just have these close friendships that we do. And so I think that our program really did a really good job of cultivating that by not only recruiting the right players, but then putting us in the right positions and, having team retreats and stuff where you get to know each other at a deeper level, which really starts the friendships. And from there, we all hang out all the time, whether it's at someone's house or just going out to dinner. And so it's almost like you can't get enough of each other. but at the same time, I don't know, it's just really, it makes it fun too. Like, you know, it's not work that way. And so it's really special to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, so having said all that, how hard is it for you to leave a team like this, especially after all the success that you guys have had this year?
Yeah, it's very difficult. Looking back, I mean, it's been an incredible journey, and I think your senior year kind of comes with this nostalgia. And so I've enjoyed every minute of it and the friendships that I've made with all my teammates. And I am sad that it's done, but also what a way to go out. You can't really get much better than that, aside from, you know, maybe making it a game further. We almost went all the way, and so I'll miss them, but I'll be in touch.
Yeah, it's a great way to end the season, especially for you seniors. So how has what you guys have done so far with the success that you've had, especially this season, how has that set the path for the future players of this program?
Yeah, I think it really just sets a standard, kind of like you alluded to. And we've built a culture here of hard work and dedication to excellence, really. And I think that not only will the coaches carry that on, but the players that we left behind, and then they'll instill that in the freshmen to come for years on. And so it's really been something cool to be a part of, to kind of build this program from the ground up, and then just really leave a legacy that hopefully gets carried on for years to come.
Yeah, so after the Final Four run this year, you guys have 5 seniors leaving, and it's going to be a lot younger team next year. What can we expect coming off? Because I know a lot of times when teams make the Final Four, make a championship run, the hardest thing is getting back to there. So what can we expect in the future from this team?
Yeah, it's really hard to, I guess, kind of say, just it's so far out, but I think that the talent they brought in is fully capable of achieving something like we did this coming year. It'll just be, everyone learning their role. I know coming in as freshmen, it can be kind of intimidating, but also hard to go from the adjustment of high school to college basketball. And so hopefully they all take it in stride and learn quickly. And if that happens, I say there's no reason why they can't be just as successful as we are this year. And I know that for sure the veterans will be, hungry to do as well as we did.
Yeah, so I know that you guys have probably instilled a lot of your knowledge into those young players. If you could go back 4 years and tell freshman Samantha Siegner something now, after having all these experiences, what would you go back and say?
Oh my gosh. I think I would just say really cherish every moment, live in the moment. I think that's a really cliche thing to say, but looking back now, sometimes you want the days to get done fast because they're so long, or practice is long, but really just, I would tell myself, slow down, enjoy every minute, enjoy running those terrible sprints. And it's really those moments where you become closer as a team, and those are the things that you'll end up remembering. So.
Nice. All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. Congratulations again on the great season.
Thank you.
And make sure that you guys tune in next Thursday at 7 p.m. as we will have our next show of Beaver News for the term. Thank you for watching.
Coming up after the break, find out all about the housing fair. Also see how students dealt with the power outage on Tuesday. All that when we return.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys,
and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point. There's smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We tell the stories of the exceptional students and staff who attend the university, who work here, and who play here.
We have the barometer where you can write stories for them, become a journalist. We have Beaver News. We have all kinds of different shows for TV.
We're so willing to talk to anybody that is interested in becoming involved with student media. So if you're on the fence thinking, I don't know if I can do this, the answer is yes, you can. Get over here and talk to us.
Students had the opportunity to explore housing options at the 2016 Housing Fair, put on by ASOSU and Corvallis Community Relations. Various property managers were there to show future renters what they had to offer. Campus agencies were also there to present information about the responsibilities associated with off-campus renting. For your complete guide to Corvallis housing, pick up a copy of the Daily Barometer's Renting Guide tomorrow morning.
Close to 11,000 people in the Corvallis community lost their power on Tuesday night. Many Oregon State students on and off campus were affected. We sent EJ Alba to the quad to see how students coped with the blackout.
Were you affected by the power outage of last night, April the 12th?
I was affected by the great power outage of April 12th. I came home from class yesterday and nothing was working. Yeah. It was a shame. So my roommate and I, we drove to Albany to get dinner to avoid it, you know what I mean?
Didn't have time to make food before the power outage happened. So I was starving for 4 to 5 hours.
So by the time
date night?
Yeah, exactly. We had a date night at Carino's.
Treat yourself, right?
Exactly, yeah. So had some carbs, just kind of waited out. And then by the time I got back, it was over. But I mean, it was a bummer.
It sounds like it was a rough night for you. Yeah. Driving, going get dinner, eating carbs. Yeah, totally avoiding the entire situation. Yeah, that's rough. That's real rough. Annie, where were you when the lights went out?
I was at my house.
Okay. Now, where were you exactly? Did the lights click off when you were sitting at the table or something, or where were you exactly?
We were in her room, just hanging out when all the lights went off.
Yeah, just hanging out. Must have sucked when the lights went out, right?
Yes, it did. It was a bummer.
Sure. Yeah. Great. Cool. Now, what did you do when the lights went out?
Wondered what was going on, and then we actually just put on candles and watched Mean Girls.
What'd you do after the power went out?
I lit a candle and just hung out at home in the dark and watched a movie that I had on my computer downloaded.
Sweet. Legally, right?
Legally, it's off iTunes.
Totally. We won't tell.
No, it's really legal.
Didn't realize how many things were affected by when the lights go out, so...
Isn't it sad?
Yeah, it is kind of sad that we're influenced that much by electricity and the power. But
heard of a bunch of people. Somebody on the OSU page, somebody got hurt. I heard. I'm not sure what it was.
Really?
Not really hurt or anything, but I heard somebody tripped on something because it was dark, and I'm sure people laughed about it.
Well, it just sounds like people being clumsy, to be honest with you. I'm not sure that had anything to do with the power.
Agreed.
Yeah. Perfect. What'd you do once you got home?
Lit some candles and waited until the power came on.
Just on the couch, in a blanket?
Yeah, I got to know my roommates a little bit more.
And I came up to the intersection of Monroe and Harrison, and the traffic light was out, and there was kind of a little bit of anarchy there. People trying to figure out when to turn and all that stuff.
Oh God, I'll bet it was just, riots in the streets. Yeah. Some deep talks because of the power outage?
We told ghost stories.
Oh, dude, so did we. It was terrifying. I was legitimately scared.
They weren't that scary.
Oh. Well, I guess I'm not as strong as you, Donald.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. No worries. I get that a lot. It only took a power outage in Corvallis for us to realize that we don't need technology to have a good time. Light up a few candles, tell some ghost stories, get to know the people around you a little bit better. The lights may have gone off last night, but Beaver Nation stayed lit. I'm EJ Alba with Beaver News.
Oh, crushed it!
So Taylor, how did the power outage affect you?
Well, the IM fields were really dark. I had sing practice and it was kind of scary. We didn't end up practicing too crazy, but it was good.
That's good. You don't want to practice in the dark.
No.
I myself, had to go to campus. I didn't have any Wi-Fi, so I had to finish my homework, sadly. But yeah. Well, that's all the time that we have for you tonight. But before we go, we want to give a big shout out to the Daily Barometer of Orange Media Network for taking home 3 regional awards for their work.
Also to State of the Arts of KBVR TV being a finalist for Best Short Nonfiction TV Show. Congratulations. Thanks for watching. I'm Taylor Alvarez.
And I'm Cheyenne Lever. For more Beaver News, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and watch us on YouTube. We'll see you next time.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We tell the stories of the exceptional students and staff who attend the university, who work here, and who play here.
We have the Barometer where you can write stories for them, become a journalist. We have Beaver News. We have all kinds of different shows for TV.
We're so willing to talk to